Nazywam się Stanley Bill, jestem wykładowcą polonistyki w Cambridge. So the main purpose of this new pilot program in Polish studies at Cambridge is really twofold. First of all, to introduce a new generation of English students, or British students, to the history of Polish culture and to the Polish language, and we consider this to be fundamental, that in learning about a culture and in fact in learning about the economy of a country even, or the politics of a country, it's crucial to do that from the foundation of a knowledge of the language, and that's why we teach language, history and culture in an integrated fashion here in the course for undergraduate students. But secondly, to have a broader impact beyond the class of students actually taking the course in Polish language, literature and culture, but also beyond the University of Cambridge. We organise a series of special events which are open to the public. And various events, including debates on political subjects involving well-known public intellectuals from the UK, including appearances from famous Polish writers. For instance, we had Adam Zagajewski here for a very successful reading of his poetry, but also academic conferences that we hope will have relevance well beyond academia. For instance, at the end of this year, we're organising a 2-day international conference dedicated to Polish-Ukrainian relations, in conjunction with Cambridge Ukrainian Studies, which is another strong new program in the Department of Slavonic Studies. This again is something that we want to have reach well beyond the university itself. And this is why the University of Cambridge? Well, obviously being an institution that's in the top 5 in the world, there's a certain brand and a certain reach attached to that, and there's a certain standard of activity, both academic and a standard of the sorts of people who are studying here that Cambridge is of course famous for, and that allows us to disseminate that message very effectively, and so that we can see ourselves almost in a promotional role for Poland, but also at the forefront of new innovative approaches to teaching and researching Polish culture and Polish literature in particular. Poland is by far the largest of the new member states of the European Union, so it's obviously an important economy in the future, but already today we can see the growth, impressive growth that Poland's achieved over the last 10 years, especially since its accession to the European Union. So it's an important market for the United Kingdom going forward. Secondly, we would talk about its geostrategic significance, and that's become increasingly clear, unfortunately, over the last few years, with Poland on the very eastern border of the European Union in what has become a volatile region, and hence this conference at the end of the year on Polish-Ukrainian relations, because we see this relationship as a very important one for the entire European Union, but for NATO as well, given the nature of potential threats to Europe today and moving into the future. So that's why I think the study of Poland is particularly important to Britain, besides the fact that it's a fascinating subject worthy of study in itself. But think about a simple fact that according to the NATO Treaty, Article 5, the United Kingdom is bound to defend Poland, so it might be worth Britons knowing something about the place.